US President Joe Biden has announced nearly $3 billion in military aid to Kyiv. For more on this, Nick Harper joins us live from Washington, D.C. Nick, this is the single largest sum of financial aid that Washington is giving Kyiv in its fight against Russia. What is expected from this new military aid?
Yeah, Dawn, the largest aid package yet to date. The president announcing it in the last hour. It'll total $2.98 billion, so nearly $3 billion. He put out a statement detailing some of the weaponry that is expected to be within that. He said it'll include air defense systems, artillery systems and munitions, and also radar. So similar to some of the things we've seen before, potentially those HIMARS precision missile defense systems that Ukraine has been using. But importantly in that statement, there was one sentence which shows there is now a shift in US thinking. President Biden said it'll allow Ukraine to defend itself over the long term. Up until now, the Pentagon has been supplying weaponry that it's had lying around. This now seems to be very much about procuring weapons that Ukraine can use in not just the days, but potentially the months and years ahead as this conflict drags on. It suggests very much a shift that the Biden administration, in terms of its funding, is now moving towards a longer-term strategy. It's something that intelligence agencies in the US have been warning about for some time, that this will drag on. But there does seem to be that shift in terms of the funding. We're also told that it'll allow Ukraine to procure things like drone weaponry that hasn't yet been produced. That will go out to tender, and it could be a year or two before it ends up in Ukraine. President Biden really, with this message, trying to reassure, I think, the people of Ukraine that US support is there to stay.
And that US support has been crucial for Ukrainians. But after 6 months of fighting, Nick, how much longer can the United States continue to back Ukraine?
Well, it's a very good question. I mean, the Biden administration seems to be suggesting that help is indefinite. So far, it's provided $10.6 billion, plus this new almost $3 billion, huge amounts of money for Ukraine. But, of course, public opinion in all of this is crucial, especially as we head towards those midterm elections in November, now 75 days away. Polling out this week to mark the 6th-month anniversary of the war in Ukraine still suggests that the majority of the American public is behind continuing to fund Ukraine. Just to run you through the numbers, 53% of Americans support backing Ukraine until Russia withdraws, 51% support providing weaponry. But that number has dropped. Back in April, it was nearer 75%. So there is a decrease in public opinion, public support. And remember, especially ahead of that midterm elections, Americans time and time again are saying that their biggest priority at the moment is inflation in the US, still near a 40-year high. And they're worried about that, the cost of their grocery bills, how much it costs to fill up their cars. If the Ukraine war drags on and the US continues to provide these billion-dollar packages, we could see that public support dropping away even further.
Nick, thank you. Nick Harper there reporting live from Washington, D.C.